Hi and welcome to Medieval Japan. Today we will explore the cultural infusion of medieval Japan. Here is a map of medieval China, India, Korea, and Japan. The items we will be looking at today are music, Buddhism, sculpture, and government. First we will look at music. Before China brought its music and instruments to Japan, Japanese native music was made up of war songs, chanted poems, folk songs, and Shinto prayers. All of these types of music were recited using just a few notes. Japanese instruments included wind, percussion, and stringed instruments. In the 6th century, Japan adopted gagaku, a form of Chinese court music. Because Japan inherited new music, it also needed new instruments. A particularly popular one was called shang in Chinese, or sho in Japanese. This was a type of organ meant to look and sound like a phoenix. Next, we will examine religion. Buddhism began in India and came to China about 1,000 years later by way of Korea. Japan's original religion was Shinto. It showed how the Japanese loved and respected nature. Shintoists celebrated life and the beauty of nature. Buddhists saw life as full of pain and suffering. To escape this painful life, one must follow a moral code called the Eightfold Path, which leads to enlightenment, or seeing the world as it really is. Next, we will observe sculpture. Like Buddhism, new sculpture techniques and subjects came to Japan from Korea and India. Japanese sculptors had used wood until the Chinese taught them to work with bronze. Later, they invented a technique for carving individual pieces of wood and assembling them with wooden pegs. Finally, we will look at government. From Prince Shotoku onwards, Japanese rulers took ideas of government from China, but the two countries' governments were still very different. In China, the emperor was the one and only ruler. In Japan, however, the emperor had only very loose control over partially independent clans called uji. Uji leaders fought among themselves for the right to overthrow the emperor. China also chose government officials solely on merit, whereas Japan chose officials based on a test, which only could be passed by those able to afford tutoring and books for studying. Thanks for watching Medieval Japan.